Okay, so if you've enjoyed the Witch Rider both videos, then you'll probably enjoy this a little bit more. Okay, so between the Witch Rider, there's this thing called the Wraith. And the Wraith will come at you in many different forms, but it's generally a warning. And for me, it has come to me in the form of a floating head 3 times in my lifetime. Now, I never had this problem when I was a child, but between 11, 23, and 25, somewhere in those 3 years, and 16 actually. It definitely happened when I was a teenager. It happened to me working at Kevlar's. So, this thing, the very first time it happened, when I was old enough to notice it, was between the ages of 12 and 14. I don't really know, but I do know, and I will never get him to confirm it or deny it because him and I haven't spoken in like damn near 30 years. But my friend, and I will leave his name off, I'll just give you his initials, LR, he was spending the night at my house. It was my dad's house, the same house the last time that the Witch Rider attacked me, on Riverview, in Smithfield, right across from the packing plant. Yeah, you'd have to go across the bridge, you have to go past the Golden Skelly, you have to go to the place where we had our little alligator pet, everything. Anyway, so one night he stayed at our house. And this is one of the nights that we were going to stay up and play G.I. Joe all night long. And my dad didn't have a problem with it because it was a Friday and he didn't have to work Saturday, so it wasn't a big deal. Except me and Lil LR, I almost gave out his name there, we were reading these scary books about vampires. And we went fucking ape shit. We got garlic. We laced the whole house of garlic. My dad wasn't happy about that, but we literally went through every doorway in the house, placing garlic everywhere. So, because we were worried about vampires, we weren't worried about what was about to happen because we didn't know the book only mentioned vampires. And he happened to bring the book over here. And you know, I'm not a strong reader, but I can read. And he's a much stronger reader because his mom's a teacher. So we got freaked out by these books. So Lloyd went to go relieve himself in the latrine. Well, I'm laying in the bed, you know, with the Joes all over the bed, we playing and everything. But when he went to the bathroom to relieve himself, that's when it happened. So I'm going to show you how dumb kids are. So I knew he went to the bathroom, but the wall and the door is like right here. So this is the wall. And this thing would do this and go back. And I'd start screaming, "Hey bro, stop playing." He'd be down the hallway, and with the door closed, something would come through the door and he's like, "Ah!" So he started screaming. Then it came back down the hall where I was at, and I'd start screaming. And then he started screaming. And then I'd start screaming. And I kept telling him, "Look man, you gotta stop playing before we wake up my dad. He's gonna get pissed off." And my dad said, "It's too damn late. What the hell are y'all hollering for?" I said, "You're not gonna believe me if I tell you. Try me. There's a head floating around. It does not have a face, but there's a floating head in the house." And so he took that book and he took it back to his room and he said, "If y'all read one more damn scary book, I'm gonna beat both your asses." So he took the scary book and he went on away. The head never came back, which was funny because him and I, we didn't stay up all night. We were so scared that we played guard duty and then we both just fell asleep. So we weren't mad at each other for falling asleep because we're human, it happens. But the very next day, he had to go to his grandma's house, which was like right next door. And Mrs. R, much love. And I had went over to ask if he could play. But he has a little sister. And he couldn't play if she couldn't play. And his little sister, her name is Dee. And we'll leave all names out just because I don't want them to think that I'm throwing them under the bus on some shit that happened to us. Plus, it kind of really didn't happen to them as much as it happened to me. So, we're playing. And we're playing G.I. Joe, but we're not actually using G.I. Joes. So he decided that he wanted to be Falcon. And I wanted to be Flint. And we made his little sister the Baroness. And kids and imagination are a dangerous thing. So his sister threw a grenade. Technically it was a pine cone, but his sister threw a grenade. And I shoved him out the way because that's what G.I. Joes do to their brothers at arms. And I slipped. his grandmother across the street had a pier at the bottom of the hill from their house. And I came up close and personal with that pier when I slipped. Now, mind you, I'm falling backwards, so my arms are frailing all over the place. And my arm hit the pier and cut it. My Timex watch and my face landed in this mud right at the bottom because the tide had just went out. Like, just went out. And so, L and D, both of them are looking down. Are you alright? Jimmy, are you alright? Don't ask why anybody would name Jimmy how you get that when your name is James. Don't ask. I don't know. It's been something that's happened since the day I was born. So anyway, they scurry down there and they stop at the pier. By this time, I have recovered a little bit to the point where I need to get up. So I have a big knot on my head. My body is imprinted in the bed of the water that was there. There's no water, but there's like wet sand and a little bit of water because when I made the imprint, whatever water was under the sand was now in the imprint. So I get up. My whole face, like this whole side, is covered in wet sand. This side's dry. All the hair and everything, little to no sand in the back, but all the way up here, there's sand. So I hit the ground pretty hard. And I get up, my arm's cut, and they're giggling and laughing, and I'm in pain. So let me explain the pain first. If you've ever had your foot fall asleep, just imagine that running through your whole body, but at 10 times the magnitude. So that happened, and I got up on the pier, and then I got up the hill, and they helped me get up the hill, and then my dad was working on the car, and I came in, and he says, "What the hell happened to you?" I slipped. He said, "Well, where the hell did you slip?" I said, "Oh, I fell off the hill and hit the water down there." It's like, what? So I didn't get to go back outside. L and D, they went on their way, or whatever. I think they may have went home that day and went back to Newport News or Hampton. And my ass got in the shower and went on in the house. The next day, my dad was still working on the car. And me being a dumb kid, there was a vine that was welted. Basically, it grew inside the tree. And I'm going to try to climb it. So my dad has the car jacked up. And he's under it, but he's not under it where it's in a dangerous spot. It's a Cadillac, too. An old school green Cadillac. Like pukey lime green. Like trash sticker color green. Almost, it's messed up, more messed up looking than that dragon. So I'm climbing it. And the damn thing snaps. I don't weigh but maybe 70 pounds at this time. And that damn thing snaps. And I bounce off the car. And I'm hurting, but I ain't hurting because, I want to be tough in front of my dad. So he's like, "You alright?" "Yeah." "What the hell are we doing?" "I was climbing this vine." "Boy, don't you know that vine ain't made for climbing?" So after I bounced out the car and he slid from under the car so the jacks and stuff didn't fall, he babied me up, made sure I was good, checked me out for bruises, and sent me on my way. So back to back, that thing has caused me to get hurt in the same week. And I didn't see it anymore. Like, at all. So, years later, I got a job at Kegler's. And this is during the Hey Chief era. So I have a scar on my thumb. I don't think you guys can see it, no matter what angle, but it's right there on my thumb. So for weeks, that damn head just kept popping in and popping out, and I kept seeing it. And I kept asking people, do they see spirits and stuff? And everybody just thought I was fucking insane. So it's like, okay. So maybe I started believing that I was insane. And then the last time I seen it, something happened. Glasses started falling. And I tried to catch it. And this is where everybody and their mama at Kegler's kept telling me, next time, let the glass fall. So Dr. Kinney stitched my thumb back together. Thank you, Dr. Kinney. I had severed a few tendons in my thumb with the broken glass. I tried to catch it, and it broke and busted in my hand. And I had to get like 30 some odd stitches on the inside and 15 on the outside, and then I had to stick a thing through there, and I had to go through therapy for about like 6 months. All of this while I was like in the 9th or the 10th grade. Glad I didn't know how to drive a stick back then. But anyway, so that happened, and between that, being jumped on my job, and having a guy call me Chief for 3 years in a row, that was that part of that. You know, I don't know if the rest of that had anything to do with it, but being injured, every time I've seen the floating head, I have been injured. And it took me a minute to put that thing together. So I started going and doing research on like spirits and shit. And so I looked up the Wraith. And the definition of the Wraith is it is a spirit that warns you when danger is coming or it warns you of your own death. So that's probably been changed since 1989 and 1993 and however the hell old I was back then. But you know, I started being more aware of this thing, and then I was like 23, 24, maybe 22. But I was working at Murray Steaks. Two more bad things are about to happen while I'm working at Murray Steaks before I start taking this damn thing serious. So the first bad thing is I thought I saw it when I was working in the walk-in, but I didn't pay attention to it because me being dumb and not being as spiritual as I should have been, I didn't pay attention to that shit. And it just kept on doing it. I'm like, okay. So I know I'm not in the walk-in by myself, but I don't know who's playing these fucking jokes. So I have to count fish. I hate fish. And here's the reason why I really, truly, honest to God, hate fish. Besides the fact that when I was younger, I was forced to eat it as a child. Not because we're part Eskimo, but when I went to people's houses and they offered you dinner, you kind of had to take it because that was country grammar. And you would eat what was put before you or they'd shove it down your throat. Anyway, so I'm at work and I'm counting fish. Tons and tons of fucking fish. Just like 20 fish in all these boxes. And the boxes are stacked way too fucking high for a short man to be counting them. So I have my ink pen. I got my tablet thingy. It's like a clipboard with a piece of paper. And I have to count the boxes. They already know how many fish are in the boxes. I just got to count the boxes. I think we were supposed to have 50 boxes. It really doesn't matter because the majority of those boxes was on top of my ass. So I'm looking at the boxes and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and I'm only looking at one side because you have to count on one side at a time. And the boxes are stacked in a specific area on a specific pallet on a specific spot in the fucking walk-in. There's 2 doors in the walk-in. The door that was closest to the fish is the door I came in. Everything was peachy dory. I'm counting the boxes. I'm only counting them on this side. Then I got that feeling that I should turn around. Well, when I turned around, I was kissing the box. The box hit me square in the face. My face and my body went down, and then all the boxes fell on top of my ass. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, I'm going to die in the fucking walk-in. I'm going to freeze because no one's coming for me. So I got one foot sticking out where all the people can see. And I think I was in there for about 30 minutes. And nobody missed me. For like 30 minutes. I'm laying on a cold floor in the walk-in in a freaking damn t-shirt. No coat, no jacket, just in a walk-in. In my pants and a t-shirt. My body's the part on the floor. And I'm cold and I'm covered in fish. Boxes among boxes of fucking fish. I'm only 5'3". So it's not that hard to bury me, okay? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow. I did see that damn thing. So maybe that's why this happened. So I'm sitting there and I'm buried. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs now. Because I'm getting even more colder and I'm buried. And I'm hollering and screaming. I'm banging the free leg against something. Not the foot that's stuck out. Because that's like, it's covered. But the other foot's buried. And I'm slamming my foot on the thing. I can't move my freaking arms. I don't know what happened to the damn ink pen. And I don't know what happened to the damn clipboard. But I do know that I'm covered in fish. In boxes. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. It took them about 5 minutes to get me from under those boxes. It took me 1.2 minutes to get the fuck out that walk-in. And this happened in the summertime at freaking Murray Steaks. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, what happened? I said, man, I don't know. I was looking at fish, and the next thing I know, I'm buried in them. It's like, well, what did you do? I didn't do anything. I was taking my pen down the boxes that I was at, counting the boxes. And I had this feeling that I needed to turn around. And when I turned around, all the boxes that was behind me, avalanched my shit. So that's how that happened. Couple of weeks later, just a couple of weeks later, I almost cut off my middle finger. So you probably can't see the scar, but it's right there. You know, can't angle it, but there's a scar on my middle finger, like right in the knuckle. So I have box cutters, and I'm cutting it. 2 days before that, I seen that damn floating head, and I ain't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just my imagination. Mind you, not too long before that, I got covered in all that fucking fish. So, it didn't dawn on me until I draw blood what had fucking happened. So, that damn thing has just been a plague to me. You know, it has plagued me for quite some time. But in the 3 incidences that it had happened, sorry, one of these groups is trying to contact me. They're gonna have to wait for the story to end. So, the boxes and cutting the finger damn near off, that made me a little bit more aware when I see this floating head that my ass is in some trouble. So I chalk it off to being the Wraith. Now again, you can go Google the Wraith and get me facts checked and whatever, and give me the finger in this video, the finger or whatever. But these are incidents that happen. I tried to show you the scars that have not showed up on camera, but if you ever meet me, I can show you the scars on my hand. And, you know, it wasn't fun then. It's not fun now. But I haven't seen it since that. But these spiritual things, they do exist. We just don't want to see them because very few people can see through the veil. I will make a special video about the veil after I do the Dreamwalker video. I'm James Williams Jr., this is Comfort Havoc number 2, B, C, and U. I hope I broadened your horizon a little bit.